Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. I'm Paula Ekene. I'm a public health professional and I make videos to help you get your health and the health of everyone around you right on track. For the returning subscribers, thank you so much for sticking by me and for being my source of inspiration. And if you're new and if you're visiting, please endeavor to subscribe to this channel and I promise it will be worth your while. So guys, we're going to be talking about something very relatable and different. We're going to be talking about post-NYSC depression, depression after NYSC. Now, NYSC is the popular National Youth Service Corps program that the government of Nigeria came up with to reduce the disparity, to reduce the differences in the various ethnic groups. Of course, these differences arose as a result of the Civil War. It's a way of integrating, reducing disunity, trying to, get people together from various ethnic groups. That's why someone from the east, southeast can go to the northeast, and someone from the northeast can go to the southwest, and that keeps going. This video is a dedication to the core members. We popularly call them coppers, the people that just passed out a few days ago, and people that are still in camp, people who are going to get into camp in some months, in some years. This video is going to help you, so please just stick by me and let's talk about ways that you can avoid post-NYSC depression. So what are the ways that you can tackle this, ways that you can avoid it, mistakes that you should avoid, so that you don't get down or you don't go down with post-NYSC depression? So for you to serve in the program, you have to be less than 30. Upon graduation you should be less than 30. Anybody above 30, you're given a letter of exemption, but that's not to say that it makes you less of a human or less of Nigerian or less of a Nigerian youth, so to say. It just means that you also have something that looks like a discharge certificate. Now if you graduated at the age of 30 and something happens and you don't serve them, whenever you realize you're going to serve, because the age of reference is actually the age of graduation, not the age at which you present yourself. Now, if for one reason or the other you have a disability, you are exempted. If you're a foreign student, you study outside of Nigeria, you will have to still come back and serve your country. So having said that, I want to get down to the reasons why Nigerian youths can come down with depression after NYSC. The hard reality about NYSC and post-NYSC is that you see that slang that they say adulthood na scam. You feel it more at that point. No more allowance into your account. The allowance that the government pays you monthly, nothing drops into your account anymore. You have to fend for yourself. The third reason is that you're graduating. Then you used to have people, have a first class, you have a 2-1, and companies are chasing after you, they want you. But these days, maybe upon realization that not all the time, it's not all the time that grades equal productivity. Most companies, in fact, companies will not chase you. Very few companies, maybe they want to retain you. Probably you stood out during your primary assignment, so now you don't have jobs chasing you like they used to do. You might still have a job chasing you, but these days they are not as much as they used to be. You have people with better grades than you do. You have people with better skills. The first mistake to avoid is going back to your father's house until a job comes. Some people already have businesses before. In fact, there's a family business waiting to be run, and you just want to go acquire the knowledge and come back better. You have new skills, you're probably more business minded, you have new strategies, you can easily chart the way forward for the family business. You're going back to actually run the business for the family, but I'm not talking about this set of people. I'm talking about people that just go back and they're like, I'm back, I've gone to school and I'm back. Wake up in the morning and you keep waiting for companies to call you. These days it doesn't work anymore. It used to work before. There is this tendency that if you go back to your father's house, you will remain there. Some people might say, I don't have money for rent, I have to go back. The emphasis is on going back to stay and get relaxed. You can go back and get a job, maybe start up a volunteer program, or start learning a skill while at your father's house with a short-term plan to leave as soon as possible. You should have a plan, an intermediate term plan, a short-term plan that, you know, takes you out of your comfort zone, because there's this tendency that the place that you were nurtured and, you know, taken care of, pampered, you are most likely going to be very comfortable there. So in my case, I had parents that were ready to welcome me home, but I wouldn't have any of that. I just had to. In fact, I started by going to visit a friend. When I left my place of primary assignment, of course, my rent didn't expire immediately, so I had enough time. So I just left my things there, and I just said, okay, I have this other friend of mine who passed out earlier than I did, so let me just go visit her, see what she's doing and all that. And I stayed with her for some time, and after a while, she was like, while you're here, don't you like this city? You can just start applying for jobs. And then that was it. I started following her out every day. I tried to volunteer in her place of work, and I started applying to other places, and with time I just got a job. So all I did was go back to the former place, to my place of primary assignment, the quarters there, and then took my things and went back and started my life. And that was how I started. So I think I'm not saying you shouldn't go back and, you know, into the warm embrace of your parents, but it's risky. You can go, but have a plan of how to come out of that place, because they are the ones that will thank you later for being responsible. Second, mistakes that youths make is very similar to the first, and it is depending on your parents' wealth. There are some generational wealth that can carry like 20 generations. That's an issue for another day. I'm talking about generational wealth that you are aware that this wealth has to be multiplied. And I mean, I don't think there's anyone who has so much money that they don't need any more money. And you don't want to just be a consumer. You have to add value to your generational wealth, even if it's so much. And, you know, it helps you to feel good about yourself, knowing that you bring something to the table. Depending on your parents' wealth is very dicey. You have to bring in your own wealth. I'm not talking about people who just go and, you know, key into what is happening. Like I said, this is very similar to the first one, but I took it aside because I want to talk about, you know, bringing something to the table, adding to what you already have, you know, in your family. You need to come up with a plan to add wealth to your family's wealth. You don't have to start with something so big. Many youths make this mistake. Please try to add value, because if you're not making the money, there's a tendency that you won't appreciate the money. People actually tend to give you more when you have, as compared to when you don't have. When you don't have, you have the tendency to beg. But when you have, you just receive and, you know, use it and solve some other problem. So why put yourself in that, you know, place? So another reason that staying in your parents' house is risky is that at a point you might become frustrated and you might be pushed into desperate ways of making money, quick money, sharp money. You might start investing into businesses that don't exist. You might start looking for dubious ways of making money, and they don't pay. At the end, you will still regret it. You would have wasted the time that you used to start all that. So please, you need to get out of your comfort zone. Comfort zones are very dangerous. I wouldn't want anyone to go into depression because mommy said I'm not gonna have this, mommy said I can't have that. You have attained the age, the legal age. You know, there are some people who want to work, but they are too young to. So I mean, you have a gift in your hands, a gift of your age. You can legally work, so why not just, you know, utilize that age? The next mistake that you should avoid is lack of creativity and skills. You shouldn't depend just on your certificates. These days, the certificates alone don't do the work. Employers are looking for people who have added value. You have 1,000,001 people with the same certificate, with the same qualification, the same degree, and the employers need to know what makes you stand out, and a skill might just do that. So the skill acquisition and entrepreneurial program has actually made it easier. You can easily learn any skill of your choice: photography, bead making, makeup. NYSC actually invests so much in the SAE program. and I think it's something that you should utilize and build yourself, build a skill. You might never know the skill that will save your life tomorrow. Skills actually help you have the possibility of multiple sources of income. So it helps you have other streams of income aside from that one that you think you should focus on, or that is your passion. For example, if you know how to make up, or you have a 9-to-5 job or an 8-to-5 job, and you also do makeup on weekends, I mean, it's extra income. Even if you don't need that income, you can just use it, plan a vacation. You can just use it and invest into agriculture, or invest into somewhere else, and before you know it, proceeds are coming. So skills are very important. Make you stand out from the next person that has same degree, same certificate that you have from your degree education. So please try and get a skill. Don't just loiter. And if you're out of camp already and you don't have, all hope is not lost. You can look for a place that you can learn a skill free of charge, or you could just pay a stipend, and just learn the skill. Another mistake that we make as Nigerian youths, most female Nigerians are sitting on this very table, and I'm going to break it, burn it, and give you the ashes. Some youths think that getting married is a solution to their problem. Some Nigerian youths want to get out of camp and rush into marriage because they think that it will give them financial security. It might work for some people, but you cannot tell if you're the one it won't work for. So please get financial freedom, get financial independence before you start thinking of marriage. It doesn't work for everyone. No, I mean, some people get married and all their financial problems are solved, but you should attain a level of self-reliance and just try and get something doing for yourself before you run into marriage. Marriage does not take away all your problems. Of course, you already know it doesn't. So some ladies just think, NYSC, what next? Let me just go and get married, it will help. This guy has a car, he has houses. If I just marry him, my problem is solved. That guy is looking for someone that will add to. He wants to have more than one house. He wants to have a fleet of cars. He wants to have one car in each brand of all the available brands in the world. He wants to have a fleet. He wants to have estates. He wants to have. So you going to deplete what he has already does not help him. You're going to get him frustrated. And for the same thing applies to men. I'm not just talking to women. Men that think, that woman is rich, her family is rich, they will settle me. There's this thing in camp where people meet themselves, they think it's going to be a happily ever after story, and they propose, and the social media carries it, and you see one core member wearing their 8/8 or 6/6, kneeling down to propose to another who is wearing the same thing, and the internet goes, it ends there. If you don't have any plan for yourself, you're done for. So please, don't use marriage as a financial settlement project. The next reason is failure to start small. That's where you see some youths, if these people are not going to pay me up to 500k or 1 million, I'm not going to take the job. Please, start from somewhere. I'm not saying you should settle for less, but start from somewhere. I got like 3 job offers. I took the third because at a point I was like, all these people are offering the same thing. They feel you don't have experience at that point. They feel you're not worth it. There are people who have more years of experience and they are willing to pay those people. So why not take it as an opportunity to add to your years of experience so that your dream job, you can land it. So just start from somewhere. I'm not saying you should settle for less, but you should know when to consider a job offer so that you don't stay back and start counting the people who you would have considered. I would have gone for this, why didn't I go for that? I should have given them a try. Set your standards and make sure that those standards are not too high so that you don't regret rejecting offers. Ask the people in your field, ask the people who have gone there before you, and they will advise you appropriately. Because in my case, I had to speak to a colleague and she said, here, my sister, this is what they will give you, but when you start with time, as at the time I landed my first job, it was below what I wanted. But when I got in and I started working, within a month I got a referral, I got a recommendation letter, and I was able to get a job that paid 150% higher than the first job did. So if I didn't go out there, if I didn't, step one foot forward, I wouldn't have been able to get the second job. You have to get out there for the people who you want to be attracted to you. Another reason, another mistake is indecision and lack of proper planning. It's very easy for you to be confused after NYSC. Trust me, that happens a lot, more often than we think. But it is also not so good for you not to be able to sit down and tell yourself what you want to achieve. In 3 months, this is what I want to be. In 6 months, this is where I want to go. In 1 year, I want to have attained this level. Because that is where your inspiration will come from. That is where your strategies, whatever it is, your Gantt chart and everything will come from. The only time that people can help you build your dreams is when you have built a structure and people want to identify with your structure in order to build their dreams while building yours. So you have to build your dreams. You have to chart a way forward. Sit down, think of what you want to do. How do you want to do it? Reach out to the people who have done it. Check the internet. These days, the internet is your friend. The internet helps you with a lot of things that you want to do. Is it business? Is it a white-collar job? Is it an investment you want to do? Whatever it is you want to do, there are people who have done it. You're not going to be reinventing the wheel. There are generic platforms. There are generic patterns that you can follow. So why not sit down and chart a plan? Planning, by the time you've done this planning, you will see that 50% of your problem is solved. You will now realize, I need capital, or I need advice, or I need a peer group that will help me, or I need to talk to people. It is your plan that will tell you what your needs are and the resources that you need to attain your goal. But just roaming about is not going to help. It's going to plunge you into more and more bouts of depression. So please do not suffer indecision. Do not be indecisive. You might be confused. It is allowed. It is understandable. But identify the point where you should sit down, plan yourself, and know what you want to be. That way, you're going to help yourself lunge forward. You're going to help yourself push. You're going to help yourself, adopt the resilience that you need to survive in the society. I hope I've been able to let you understand that you're not alone. The feeling of confusion, the feeling of not having a way forward is very normal for post-NYSC youths. But that is why we're here, to help you chart a way forward. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel, share this video, like, and please drop your comments if you have any. You can always let me know what other mistakes you think you should avoid to prevent going into post-NYSC depression. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking by me. I really appreciate it. Until next time, bye bye.